Okay, this is Spencer, the Tampa Bay Wallpaper Installer, coming to you from Tampa, Florida. And what we're doing here is installing a fabric wall covering. This is a textile. This is woven. So just a quick review. The wall has been skim coated. It has also been spot prepared with compound. That's all dry, although it looks darker. And then what we do is put a heavy-duty, strippable, clear wall covering paste on top of the wall, not on the wall covering. If you were to put it on the wall covering, first of all, you would have the substance of the glue oozing out of the webbing of the fabric, but also you would stain the fabric. And so what we do is we apply the glue to the surface, and then you let a lot of it evaporate until you're left with a surface that's just tacky. Now, it's probably one of the biggest judgment calls in the whole skill of hanging wall covering. If it's too dry, it's not going to properly stick. And then if it's too wet, you're going to have a stain on your wall covering. So it's one of those things where you just have to judge it. You see, I'm touching it and not much is coming off on my finger and it's still sticky. So that's what it calls for. So let's see how we do. I'm going to set you up over here so that you can just see this wall covering installation. Okay, so I will put you right here. Hopefully, for the most part, you'll be able to see what I'm doing here. That's good enough, right? I'll try to keep out of the way. You'll get to see most of the scene. But if I get in your way, sorry, I have to. You know what would be really good on these wallpaper installations? If they would come up with a tool that sort of elevated you up on these longer than 9-foot walls, because the ladder gets in the way when you're coming down cutting your wall covering. So if there was a tool that could actually, even if it weren't by electric, if it were just a tool that you could sort of jack yourself up, something like, like on a bucket truck, something if you could just jack yourself up, like a ladder, and then maybe with a piston and come down, because the ladder gets in the way of these long wall installations. And so every time a mechanic is working on something, he's always thinking of a new and improved way by which he can do his trade. Anyway, just thought I'd mention it for those of you who are out there who may want to come up with such a tool. I don't know. Okay, so our covering is already cut, so no need for the blade right now. The hands have to be super, super clean. You'll start out with a white cloth and it will get fingerprints on it or whatever, but it has to be white. You're working with a fabric. Okay. My piece is labeled top and bottom. Very important that you know which end is up, because it has to be consistent with the rest of the installation. So I generally go with what rolls off of when I unravel the wall covering, the piece that I'm holding, that's my top. And as long as you're consistent with it, it's a good thing. Okay, so let's see how we do. You want to make sure that the front of the wall covering doesn't touch the glue. So I'm looking down right now. Looking down, making sure. See how it keeps moving back and forth? Okay, I got my bottom. What makes this similar to the other wall covering is that it will slide on your wall. It will slide, just like your wall covering does. So, beautiful up here so far. Now, we are dealing with a fabric that is woven, so you know, strings, threads. But not to worry, they can get clipped off in the end, not pulled. The best way I could describe this seam would be if you've ever seen a fresh suture on the flesh of the meaty part of a body where the flesh just comes together, but you see the seam. And so I spoke to a representative, the local representative from Maharam, and because sometimes the bolts don't come with the instructions, and so you want to make sure that you're going according to the manufacturer's instructions, and then you may want to modify the instructions, as I did on this peel and stick installation that I did in Wesley Chapel, which is on another video. But for this, don't worry about the strings if you're installing a textile. You don't want to pull on them. You just want to go up to them with a single edge razor, push the razor into it, and just tug on the string, and then it severs. If you pull on them, it's just never ending. And then you're going to void the material. So, let's see now. All right, so I want to make sure my hands are clean. Stuff is tacking up. Gotta pull it off. You want to mend that seam right there. You have to move that paper to where you want, well, the cloth, to where you want it. You may have to pull it off. As soon as you see wrinkles, you know you got a problem. Like I said, if your hands are not clean, forget it. On this installation already, an electrician came in, put something up, got the whole thing dirty. I was lucky I got it off. Yeah, checking my fingers again. The cut has to be made with a sharp blade. Invest your money in a nice Olfa knife, OLFA, and get the black blades, 18 millimeter. Not only are they the sharpest blades with which you can cut this stuff, but they also happen to be very strong blades, okay? They're very strong, they're black. cleaning off my tool here. Last thing you want to do, you get all the way down and then you realize you got dirt on the textile. Rip it off and start again. What are the benefits of hanging a textile? It absorbs all of the noise in the room. It absorbs the noise inside of your room and contains the noise in an adjoining apartment or whatever. Or an adjoining room. You know how it is when you put your furniture in the room? All of a sudden, you're not echoing in the room, right? Same thing with fabric. This stuff absorbs the noise. Okay? And it happens to be beautiful stuff. I mean, you're hanging a beautiful textile. It's beautiful.
Can you do me a favor, please?
Yes.
Can you call the owner? He told me you can call him for me, please.
Okay, so let me just show you. Now I know I got my wall covering coming down here. Let me get up there. Hold on a second. I want to show you the seam so that you know what to expect when you install this yourself. 1 second. I hope it doesn't shut off the video. It's the problem when you're hanging paper like this high. Okay, let me just show you the seam here, okay? So that you can see what to expect if you decide to install this. The whole thing is in the cut, okay? Here's your seam. Here is your seam. Now I'm going to continue to work that. But the seam is sharply cut. You know, this is a function of having a very sharp blade. And then you'll see that the seam hides itself with the fabric. I'm going to brush this with my smoother that has the bristles on it. But what I'm doing is right now, I'm feathering out the glue, the paste underneath, the tackiness. But that's pretty much it, okay? You can show it from a distance, okay? I mean, it's fairly simple to join. You know, this is not rocket science. What a beginner might experience that might cause a little frustration are the wrinkles. All you have to do is simply pull the fabric off again and start again. The wrinkles are supposed to be knocked down or straight up, but you would go sideways if you didn't cut the piece straight. So if it doesn't work by knocking the wrinkles down straight up and down, you know, do the alternative and go side to side. But it's preferred if you cut the thing parallel. If you cut the thing completely square, then you should be going from the top to the bottom, knocking all the wrinkles out down. Okay, this is Spencer, the Tampa Bay Wallpaper Installer, coming to you from Tampa, Florida. If you like this video, please click on like, and then also please subscribe to my channel over here, and I will continue to make these very informative videos for you. If you have a suggestion on the way you did this or the way you install this kind of wall covering, please let me know in the comments. Thank you, and see you on the next one.